Hey guys, I am back, and yes, I am back for good. I got this car fixed, everything is done, everything is dialed, and man, it just feels good to be back recording videos like this again. Before I set off here, I just want to point out my area. I live in the greater Toronto area. Our air quality, I think at one point yesterday, it was rated as the worst air quality in the world, and I thought, dude, that's like clickbait or whatever. But no, it actually turns out, yeah, we actually were pretty bad. And you know me, I'm pretty curious, so I checked the map. If you have like any weather app you have in your phone, I'm pretty sure it has like an air quality index portion on the map. And yeah, we did indeed, the area I was in did have in fact worse air quality than some major cities in India, which is pretty crazy. And yeah, all of this from forest fire smoke. And to top it off, the day before this whole forest fire ordeal started, we were going through a heat wave. Like, it was almost nearly 40 degrees, and it was just crazy how fast, because how the smoke is blanketing everything, it's just dropping the temperature. So it's like I kind of make the joke of, you're kind of sacrificing a little bit of your cardiovascular health for cooler temperatures, but it's crazy. And I'm not doing any favors to myself because I'm kind of out here filming this for you guys. But yeah, we got recirc on because I don't want any fresh air coming in. And yeah, so let's get the hell out of here. Alright, so as I pointed out earlier, I am in the greater Toronto area, and Toronto has some of the worst drivers. And I actually want to point out, I was watching like crash compilations, and the dude who does the reaction videos made a comment. He's like, yeah, Toronto drivers are some of the worst drivers. I was like, holy smokes, that's pretty crazy. But not to worry, I did plan a scenic route, so I won't have to deal too much. I can just focus. It's probably going to take me 20 years to make this left turn here. Perfect. Yeah, that's the weird part about driving. I always say, oh wow, it's going to be crappy, but I actually got in a lot faster than I expected. But yeah, let me turn down the air so it's not blowing in you guys' face directly. This is just like so eerie, just like seeing how everything, it pretty much looks like you have a Mexico filter in your car, which is pretty wild. Pretty wild. But kind of also cool at the same time. Now, I'm not going to do any pulls. I'm not going to do anything like that. We're just going to drive normally because, once again, it is rush hour. So yeah, basically, you know, I do daily drive this car, which means I drive it all year long. Drive it in the summer, winter, fall, every season. And this sort of happened when we were transitioning into spring. Now, if you live in the Northeast, you pretty much know that, yeah, that's pretty much the Rust Belt, and there's a lot of drastic temperature changes, which causes the road to contract and expand, and that will happen over decades and decades. It's pretty much a classic tale or classic story where I pretty much hit a pothole, kind of shook me to the core a little bit. I literally turned off my music because I wanted to hear if my car was making any kind of funny sounds. But here's the part that kind of caught me off guard. I didn't hear any funny sounds going on in my car, and everything just seemed pretty normal. It would slowly, 3 weeks later, it would slowly progress into something kind of weird. So, you know, I do quite a bit. I have a regular job, I have a part-time job, so pretty much need a car to go from them, you know, pretty efficiently and on time, because just cannot deal with the public transportation in this city. It used to be pretty good. I think it's still pretty good in terms of like network coverage and whatever, but getting to places on time, you literally have to give yourself like 2 hours. And rush hour, don't even don't even think you're gonna speed in rush hour. Rush hour, just literally chill, sit back, and take your time, because it's bad. Now, after I hit that pothole, I was on my way to my part-time job, and when I was coming off the highway, you don't slam on the brakes, you sort of ease down because you're coming from a high rate of speed. All of a sudden, I felt a slight vibration on my right side. It kind of scared me a little bit. I was like, what the hell? So like on the last stretch of when I was about to reach my part-time job, the last stretch of road, and there was pretty much no one there. I tested my brakes. I'm like, okay, my brakes are good. Everything's good. Everything seemed fine. And then a new sound developed in the week after, and that new sound pretty much was every time that there was broken pavement, just on my passenger side over there, I would just hear this clunk, 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 like something was broken. I was like, it can't be my coilovers. My coilovers are pretty good. They're solid. They weren't leaking. But I was like, yeah, that's pretty strange. So I'm basically like, oh boy, that's another thing I got to add to the list, suspension. So I kind of drove in a way where I wouldn't make that happen, so I would have avoided it, but there were some areas where I couldn't avoid it. Maybe we have a little bit of fun. I went out one morning to my part-time job, and there was just a violent vibration. What is this guy doing? He's like driving so slow. Got so bad where I was just like, I am not, like, it got to the point where I actually was not confident in using the front brakes at all, and I had to basically, use the handbrake to slow the car down, which is insane. I'm like, I'm too old for this stuff. So I slowly planned it out, diagnosed the car. It actually turned out my lower control arm bushings were completely shot and broken. But it's weird how it all happened, so fast like that. So I basically had to replace both lower control arms. I just replaced the whole thing because I didn't want to deal with the pain of squeezing them out, because I don't really have the tool to do that. So I had to do lower control arms, my brakes. And here's the thing. My brakes basically became glazed. So my pads were glazed. And by the time I was taking it apart, my caliper was seizing very slightly, and that was not a good sign. So needed two new front calipers. This guy's sleeping or what? Jesus. Like sleeping, Thank God he's gone. But yeah, so basically 2 new calipers in the front, 2 new pads, 2 new rotors, because those were done. They were glazed, and I didn't want to run them. And I do daily drive this car, and I'm just like, yeah, that's not really safe, and I don't really want to do that. So I got everything done, and it actually turned out to be my most expensive repair bill on my car. That, in total, everything cost me just over $3,000 Canadian, which was kind of crazy because I know prices are going up for everything, but damn, that was pretty bad. So yeah, as I said, this is sort of a more scenic route, more suited to this car, even though this guy's on my ass. This is because I didn't see traffic coming back the other way. Wonder what this is about. But yeah, it came up to $3,000, and I sort of had a goal. It was basically have this car finished by the beginning of summer, and that's pretty much what I did in the car is back to its former glory. It even feels a little bit better, the suspension, since I fixed those bushings. I guess I just became accustomed to how the worn bushings were. But yeah, that was sort of my unexpected surprise with this car. It's not the worst. I don't really think about this car in monetary value. Like, I do like this car. It is a fun car to drive, and there's that little aspect to it. And it's not beat up, it's not rusted, and I do think it's worth it. I basically have everything I need in the car. I got AC. I don't have to deal with this bad air to a certain extent. And yeah, this traffic is brutal. But I rather this than dealing with this on the highway, because this will be even worse on the highway. Just more of a stress. I wonder what's causing this. Yeah, that would be the most expensive thing that I've ever had to do to the car repair-wise. And, there is a certain image that this car has. A lot of people just think, oh, it's a Honda Civic. It's going to be super reliable. Just hit off the rev limiter, and do like bare minimum maintenance. But at the end of the day, it's a mechanical device. And you got to have, shout out to one of the YouTubers that I watch. I forget his name, but he said, have some mechanical... I just messed it up. Have some mechanical sympathy for the car. But yeah, I guess that's it, boys. We back. And we back for good. I'll see you guys in the next one.